Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Hunt for Peace. Thank you all for joining us. Today, we actually have a very, very special guest with us, Manjeet Singh, registered nurse. He's done some incredible things that he came on and would like to share with all of you. Things that I have now started to implement into my daily life that I would absolutely recommend each and every one of you to do as well. As you do know, everything we talk about sometimes comes with some sensitivities and trigger warnings. So this is kind of the warning, for lack of better terms now. If you have any sensitivities to suicide, mental health, anything like that, go ahead and turn away now. But past that, we'll go ahead and get rolling. Manjeet, thank you so much for joining us. Would you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, your backstory, where you came from?
Yes, thank you, Dalton, for having me, and very nice of Chamberlain. What a friend I have found in both of
Absolutely.
you. God bless you both. And it's nothing I want to tell you. It's fake about me and my life.
Mhm.
So what I have written in my book is the live moments. Before I became a nurse, I was a patient for a long time,
Okay.
and sleep deprivation is something that was very personal to me. When I came, I was a young boy, 19, and to United States, and got my first job. And so how it started was, as my first job, it was 5 a.m. I have to be at the location. It was
Mhm.
a hospital job. And the society has made it very, very clear that I have to be there at 5. If not, there will be consequences,
Absolutely.
you know? And as a young kid, I did not know much better that if I am going to wake up every day 3:30 in the morning in order to be at my work at 5 a.m., I also have to be going to bed in time.
Mhm.
So there was very clear warnings and consequences about what if I'm not going to be showing up on time, what that consequences would be. But no one ever actually told me that in order to live that life, there is also a severe consequences that I would have to pay. Fair enough. In just a few years, I start seeing that symptoms. I diagnosed with the ulcerative colitis, and in 2009, I came to the point where doctor totally given up on me, and they says that there's nothing left in my body, in my colon, and they have to resect it. That means I do not have colon, the large intestine in my body.
Mhm.
So you can imagine a toll, an anxiety, a depression,
Yeah, absolutely.
and everything that I have gone through. A young boy in 20s going through of all that, you know. And when the doctor told me that there's nothing they can more do about, I had just recently got married, had a wife, and pretty much, like young kids, if you will, in mid
Absolutely.
20s,
Of course.
me and my wife, and those were the days that I heavily paid the price of not honoring the nature.
Mhm.
So anything and everything that what you see in that book, me being lived the life of a patient, and after that became a nurse and living as a nurse. So everything is very personal. It's a personal testimony, if you will.
Absolutely. Just so you guys know, this is the book that he is mentioning, The Five Undeniable Laws of Holistic Health and Wellness. Again, like I said earlier, I absolutely recommend everyone to give this book a read, give it a try, follow along with what it talks about. And we'll kind of dive into some questions that were brought upon by my personal reading of this book and how it does connect to mental health awareness, and things like that. But again, absolutely recommend anyone and everyone to give this a read, give it some implementation. It is truly life changing. But to kind of jump into those questions, so in your book, you do mention, and kind of you just spoke upon heavily upon sleep being a big sacrifice when you're busy. But why is it that you think one of the most common side effects of individuals struggling with severe depression is the lack of being able to sleep, especially when it's bad enough that they're not busy, but they're ignoring their responsibilities, but they're still not getting the sleep that they need. They're not doing anything. We've all been there when we're depressed, and it's just so hard to get out of bed, hard to do what you're doing, but you're still not sleeping.
Yes, and it's such a very important question that there is that you have asked. Um, what really happens, it's depression is just not that I'm going um, in a dark side of my life. There is an actual chemical imbalances that's happening. We as a human beings, everything what we need to stay healthy and to stay fit is already implemented in nature.
Okay.
You know, imagine one day our sun and the moon in our solar system decided sun is not going to rise at the normal time. Even if that one day that happened, we cannot even imagine what that one decision, one day of that decision, if the sun were to make that he is not going to rise up today, what would happen to our planet, you know? And same thing goes to our us being human and staying connected with nature. One thing that depression and anxiety likes is the darkness. Joy and happiness is connected with light. It's just feed upon that if you were talking to a person who is anxious and depressed, would like to stay alone by itself, just leave me alone, you know, can you turn this lights off, please? You know, I want to be with my just with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happened. Now, this is bound to happen. It's natural if that person were to get back in the society and like having no option but to stay isolated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no matter what, I'm going to talk to you, and okay, I'm coming back in the morning, we're going for a walk. You know, that person has no choice, you know, but not have that interaction with the nature. Will see the so much of a beautiful impact that would happen. Now, the question that you have asked is why does that happen with the depression? It is nothing but natural, and that's what the depression and anxiety is feed upon. And the reason why I'm doing this is to educate. I understand that individual is going through that stage, but what about the rest of the family? You know, if one person is going through that rough time, what are we as a family can do to prevent that from happening?
Absolutely.
So that is the education I like to bring into this place.
And you had mentioned the chemical effect on the brain of anxiety and depression. And that's something I feel like really doesn't get talked about enough, but even more so to the extent that you talk about it in this book. I've looked deeply into it in a lot of different ways, and a lot of it just seems very surface level. But the way that you dive in, I would like to kind of caveat that into the next question of, is there a direct correlation between mental health issues and the dysfunction or misfiring of the suprachiasmatic nucleus?
Yes.
If so, is that something that can be addressed to assist in obtaining a more proper circadian rhythm?
Yes, absolutely. So what happens is, again, great question. There is a circadian rhythm, and in a very simple term, what circadian rhythm is our internal body clock connecting with the outer natural world. First thing in the morning, within 30 minutes of we waking up, if we were to go ahead and get the body moving and have the interaction and have that connection with the sunlight, it triggers a brain that it is a morning time, and that syncs, everything syncs with our internal clock. Our brain, our heart, our lungs, our kidneys, everything is associated with that rhythm. Now, if you were to say that no, I do not believe in rhythm, you know, every single human being is born with it. We call it sinus,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you ask any doctor, you know, much so cardiologist, they will say that if that rhythm were to change to any other irregular beat, or from sinus rhythm to any other rhythm, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So were to say that no, I do not believe in rhythm, circadian rhythm or sinus rhythm, it is absolutely not true. We are born with it, and once that rhythm is interrupted, we are in trouble. So it's just so beautiful. When sun rises, if we were to rise and get acclimated with nature, we will see so much of the beauty outside and within ourselves. It's all connected. It's all associated with serotonin. There are in fact, I call those happy hormones called DOSE,
Mm-hmm.
DOSE. It's called dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And those happy hormones, and especially serotonin, connected with the sunlight, it's just get that going kind of a notion to our internal self. And what happens is, as we are progressing, our body knows that what time is it. It's connected with our insulin. When we eat food during that time, it's digested well. Cortisol level is high, rising, and that means our day is going to be as productive as it can be. And as the sun sets, so as we as humans supposed to calm down and wind it down.
Okay.
So everything is interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Our internal body and outside nature is how beautifully God has made us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
Um, if you ask 10 just regular people, I would assume probably 7 to 9 of them would know what sinus rhythm is.
Yes.
If you ask those same 10 people what circadian rhythm is, I don't think any of them would know it.
Yes.
Why do you think it is over time we've gotten so far away from treating circadian rhythm in the body the same way that medically we should be treating sinus rhythm?
Right, right. And if I were to be honest with you, which I really want to be, my answer can be controversial, not because, if I were to be honest, I want to say there is a $1 trillion industry. Who doesn't want us to know about getting fit, getting healthy? Because there is a big industry who thrive on us being unwell.
Yes, sir.
So it is, I won't want to say it is intentional. There is a $1 trillion industry working day and night to keep all that information the way it is. In fact, it's only going to get worse. So I wish people would know more about it, and um, I wish more nurses, more doctors will come and talk openly. The irony is, we as clinicians, as medical health professionals, majority of us as healthcare professionals are ourselves diagnosed with high blood pressure, or there are so many things because it's such a stressful environment
Absolutely.
we are
Absolutely.
in. And there is just the thing that yes, I know I'm telling you, but nothing will happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that I'm just protecting until that day that we go to the doctor and we are diagnosed. Okay, you are now officially a patient of high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wish people will talk more openly about that. And you're absolutely right. People know about sinus rhythm. Why do not people talk about the circadian rhythm? So important.
And personal views, I think you hit the nail exactly on the head for the reasoning for that. Just one more reason to buy the book. Now, how can people, kind of jumping back into the sleep, how can people that are suffering from anxiety and other sleep inhibitors kind of quiet the noise long enough to fall asleep, to get into that REM sleep, to get that health recovery sleep without having to rely on medication?
Absolutely. Beautiful question. So it's a process. It's a process. And brain recognize what we are doing to help with that process. There is a I'll tell you this, and I'm not talking about the patients or the individuals who are going through anxiety and depression, which typically, if you were to ask in today's day and time, it's all of us.
Absolutely.
You know, every
Everyone
one of us
in
is
some
going
way,
through that.
shape, or form has been touched by
Yes,
mental health issues.
like whether we like to accept or not, most of us do not like to accept and neither seek the treatment because we do not want to be associated with the stigma. That if I were to tell you that, hey, Dalton, this is what I'm going through, that I have now exposed myself, and you might say, you know what, I talk, Manjeet is going through some mental health. I do not want to be associated with that stigma,
Absolutely.
but I want to tell you regarding this. It happens in today's day and time. And like I said before, there is an industry who is orchestrating all of that, and social media, our phones.
Mm-hmm.
When we go, like for example, we are doing this podcast with you. When I came here, the expectation were that I will meet with you, I will shake hand with you and Chamberlain, and that exactly happened. And then we started this podcast. At one point, we are going to end the podcast. You will shut it down, you would go your home, I would be on my way back home, and we are, neither you nor I, we are planning to sit here in this room for next 24 hours. There is a
Absolutely not.
set expectations that what we have, and so is with the breakfast. We are doing very good until breakfast and lunch, but things happen different at the time of dinner. So please stay with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As I'm trying to tell you, um, breakfast, when we have it happens, we are in that right mindset. Okay, the breakfast has been eaten, and let's go ahead and go move to a next task,
Mhm.
which is whatever your day is about, you will move on. Lunch, we are not going to sit there at the table and enjoy lunch for 5 hours. No one does that, but something happens during our dinner time. The expectation in today's day and time is, it is dinner time, I'm going to eat my dinner. What really should we be priming for is, dinner time should be around 5, 6, 7, 2 to 3 hours before we go to bed.
Mhm.
In today's day and time, very few people does that. We eat dinner so close to going to bed. The second thing, we are headed to our bedroom. Now, we do not have a mindset, okay, I'm going to go to my bedroom for what? Am I going to go to my bedroom expecting I'm going to have a good sleep? Instead, every one of us go to the bedroom with our phones in our hand. The expectations is, I am going to watch the mindless videos until my arm goes numb and I have no more power to hold that phone, not because I want to go to sleep, but because I have to wake up in the morning because I have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep is nowhere in the scene. And then morning comes, I'm hitting that snooze button. First thing I do is open my phone and scroll it again a couple of times. And I'm going to a little bit towards the second chapter of protecting the sacred boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
but this is all interconnected with each other.
Mm-hmm.
In today's day and time, we do not expect a good night's sleep. And because we do not have any expectation, we get none.
And I would love to piggyback off that direct thought. So, kind of like you said, going into chapter 2 with the boundaries, you speak on blue light and the effect that a blue light has on us and our melatonin production.
Yes.
From a deeper aspect, do you believe that phones and everything that comes along with them have a direct correlation with mental health issues, even more so than just the blue light stunting the melatonin production.
Absolutely, it does. It's 100%. It has a direct correlation. Is one, at nighttime, as I'm using this phone, no matter what the technology says now, if you would read the news, it says no, it's not a blue light. If you turn your phone to certain light, it will help you. Does not matter. You're still messing up with the nature. The brain does not like it. Our body does not like it. But what really happens is, um, it delays the melatonin production in our body. But another thing that's happening, our brain knows that I'm watching the video. That means is internal communication is happening within the organ. Brain tells the heart, you cannot rest right now. Even though it is nighttime, you still have to pump hard for me to get that blood supply in my brain so I can continue to watch what I'm doing. Now, imagine the cardiovascular health that I'm putting into jeopardy simply because God has intended for us as a human, for our bodies to rest at nighttime. But I'm forcing, because I've made the decision I have to watch this video till 1 a.m., my brain has to have some kind of blood flow to be able to stay awake. In the result, my heart has to pump hard. It's so interconnected mentally, physiologically, because my brain is not getting that rest is supposed to be getting. The healing supposed to be happening at this time. My kidneys, my lungs, and everything supposed to be working in harmony. There is a recalibration we're supposed to be happening when we go into a deep sleep, REM cycle and so forth and so on. But none of that happens because of what that happened. So it is interconnected. One more thing I would like to add. During that night time, I do not know if you have noticed that, but definitely from the evening side on, as the night progresses, every now and then you are watching something, the food video will start coming up. Anything related with food, sugar, anything that will have that image, will have that thing, that craving, that it will force you. You know what? Yeah, that ice cream seems really tempting. Let me go get out of bed, open that fridge, and let me have a scoop of that ice cream. Our body was supposed to be resting at this time and not processing the food. So everything is just so interconnected with each other.
Absolutely. Along the lines with the food, a lot of people, especially when they're dealing with mental health issues and things like that, I know I personally are very prone to stress eating and binge eating.
Yes.
Is there a natural way that someone can kind of increase their leptin levels to kind of tone down those cravings of that hunger again without seeking external medication?
So, perfect answer: water and good night's sleep.
Okay.
So, sorry about that.
No, absolutely.
But I wanted to tell you the beautiful answer that I can give in as short as possible: get good night rest, and in the daytime, drink plenty of water. What it does is it flushes our body, water. It flushes our body, keeps our hormones in check, and the sleep is so related, interconnected with two. I do notice that you have mentioned leptin, but there is another hormone called ghrelin. So the more well rested you are, both of the hormones, leptin and ghrelin, are in check, you know, we will get less hungry. We will only eat what is good for us. We would not crave for the food that is good for us emotionally and not physically.
Mm-hmm.
When we eat emotional food, our brain does not give us the credit of that. Brain gives us the credit of a good food, what we really, my body really craves for.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I can keep eating whatever I'm eating. As long as it's not a good food, body will not give me the credit. And that happens when I'm well rested. Well rested body is the only way those two hormones can be checked. The
Okay.
more water we drink, the better is for the body. And today's day and time, and I'm not talking about just the United States, but it's global. We know, like if you were to compare to the planet Earth, it's more water than land.
Mm-hmm.
In our body, we are nothing but a dirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same situation is here. As our planet Earth has more water than land, our body is more water than what we see it is.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it then we rely on solid food versus the water, which is truly the life of our body?
Mm-hmm.
We drink more food and drink less water, and it's just not here, it's everywhere. If we were to just reward that and get plenty of rest, the question that you have asked about leptin, and I'm just adding ghrelin to it, is and not only that, but all the other hormones is going to be check and balanced. So that's I would say two things: uh, rest well, drink plenty of water.
Absolutely. And for anyone who doesn't know or didn't understand, I don't think I clarified or he did. So, ghrelin is the hormone that your body naturally produces to tell your brain that you're hungry. Leptin is the hormone your body naturally produces to tell yourself, I'm full, I don't need to eat anymore. So, that's why those two things are very important, and keeping them checked and at a level that they should be is very important. Um, One of the biggest things that I personally took from your book that I loved, and I feel like so many more people need help and assistance with, is the way you speak upon boundaries. And in today's day and age, that is one of the biggest problems that you see that has been linked to leading to a lot of different kinds of mental health issues.
Mm.
So, for people that do just naturally have a very hard problem telling someone no,
No, yes,
how would you recommend someone to overcome that problem, to give themselves more prominent boundaries, to be able to put their health first?
absolutely. The hard stops, hard checks is definitely it's a must. If you want a good life, good health, it is a must. Even though as common sense as it seems, the day you decide that you have decided you're going to take life seriously, and you are a young boy, young girl, 15, 16, 17-year young, as long as it gets, you are not going to be well received. There's going to be a peer pressure is
Mm-hmm.
going to be there, because all your friends are taking pride in going to bed at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you will be a subject of a mocking. Oh, you know what? It's 9. You should be in bed by now. You know, but at least we know that you are taking the decision of saying no. You're going to be doing such a service to your body.
Mm-hmm.
What the research shows about Alzheimer's, about dementia, all the way from cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, to strokes, to kidney disease, and you name anything that's there. The results that's coming, the projections that we are going to see so much of the cancer all the way to especially two cancers, are breast cancer and a colorectal cancer. It's directly associated with our sleep deprivation and not drinking water. And there is so many things. The projection looks like that in 5 years or so, the lifestyle that we are living in today's day and time, the depression, what we see in today's day and time in the age of 60s to 70s, is going to come back from all the way to 45 to 50 years as young. So that's how this lifestyle that we are living in. Now, I want to give you a very example that so many people might be able to connect with. Boundaries. So there is an alarm system at our homes, and there is a main door,
Mm-hmm.
right? You feel safe when the door is closed. You know, even to going next extra step before going to bed, we we keen the alarm, so our home is alarmed.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone were to come without your permission, those that alarm would go off. The message will go automatically to the police, your alarm system, and there is so much of a system. Why have you done that? For the peace of your mind,
Mm-hmm.
that no one breaks in your home.
Absolutely.
What if I tell you, how would you feel if you decide that you are not, forget even about the alarm, you have decided from now on you are not going to even close your main door. It's open for anyone. There is no one at the door. Your door is never going to be closed. Anyone can come in, anyone can go out. How would you feel? Would you feel safe?
Absolutely not.
So that's where we are today. By checking and saying yes and no, that's what it is. No means your door has closed. You are in control. If someone is outside knocking at your door, you have the authority. You can either say, okay, wait, I'm coming, opening the door, or you can say, or you do not even have to answer. Entertain even that guest.
Mm-hmm.
Let them knock, they will go away. Why do we let that stress, anxiety, when it's knocking at the door, it's my choice
Absolutely.
to open that door and let that anxiety and stress come in, knowing that it's my time to go to bed. So we build that system, we build that consistency. It's I'm done with my dinner, time to go to walk. I come back, whatever it is, cold shower, warm, lukewarm shower, whatever it is, that's relaxing music that you're playing. Then I never recommend you take your technology or a digital book. Always, 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 if you have the means, get a hold of a physical book. You know, dim light, physical book, that is a medicine, natural medicine that will put you into a calm. So you do it one day, you do it 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, it will go to a week, to a month. Your brain is getting into a rhythm, the circadian rhythm, the sinus rhythm, the rhythm of everything that you do, the rhythm of sunrise, the rhythm of sunset. Everything is incorporated into a nature.
Mm-hmm.
All we have to do is just sink in and just reap the benefit. How beautiful is that?
It's something that I feel like we've taken such advantage of. Like we don't think about it. We don't look at it like that. And kind of like we were talking before this even started, just the pro to just going outside and how unnatural it seems to be in today's day and age, especially for those dealing with anxiety and depression. Like you had mentioned earlier, they just want to stay in the dark. They don't want to be in the sun. They want to shun everything that God and nature has put here to make us be okay. The
Yes.
natural medicines that we have access to at our fingertips. And the biggest thing it seems to come back around to is sleep.
Yes.
And I saved this question kind of nearing the end because it kind of connects with an episode that we had done of what you say matters and how you say it matters. So, as important as sleep is, and in so many different aspects of obtaining a healthy lifestyle, why do you think the phrase and the ideology, I will sleep when I'm dead,
Yes.
has become so popular and is something that people almost have a gratification to live by that? Like they're proud to say that I'll sleep when I'm dead and to shun their health. And why do you think that is?
Yes. No, absolutely. Again, I'll go back to the same. It's not happening because um, it's a mindset. There is a $1 trillion industry who's promoting that propaganda. You know, so greatness, grind to greatness. I call that phrase grind to greatness. It's something that sleeping or sleep is for weak,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and somehow if I'm sleeping, if I'm not going to sleep 2 3 a.m., somehow I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
Who is promoting that agenda? So there is a people, there is something going on that is, our brain is being washed,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Now I'll ask you this, that as a parents, especially as a young parent, and you have a little young baby, so it is just kind of programmed in our mind that when the time comes, we as a parents decide, okay, no, not ice cream at this time, is getting so close to getting to your bed, so we'll
Mm-hmm.
we'll tell our little kiddos that no, we'll talk about the ice cream in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Now what makes us as a parents to tell the kids no, that is no ice cream for right now, you have to go to sleep? And what has happened that has given me as a parent, I have put my kid to sleep, and why I'm still awake, who has given me that, me and my wife, now we can take our phone in our hands and stay awake till 11, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually what would happen, as that kid is going to grow up, they will see this big disconnect. All
Mm-hmm.
right, mom, they might not say anything out of respect, but they are seeing, they are watching us. Our actions are very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They mirrors what we do, you know.
Absolutely.
So what we are doing is we are really doing a disservice to that generation, because they are seeing, oh yeah, you know, my parents did that, so when their time comes for treating their kids, they'll do exactly the same thing. They will try to discipline them and remain undisciplined, because they have seen their parents have done that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I do not know if I've answered that question,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
but yeah.
Um, and the relatability of the ending of that, I feel, is something that we all know it, we all see it, but no one wants to talk about it. No one
Yes.
wants to say that you are consciously making that decision to not give your kid ice cream at 8:30 p.m. because you know they need sleep to grow. You
Yes.
know they can't be up until midnight. There's a reason that your parents, it's natural that you hit a certain point before you can start staying up late, when you kind of stop growing, because it's important. And then as adults, we just stop doing it because we're adults and we can make our own decisions, and I don't need to go to sleep now. And it's just
Exactly.
the societal influence,
Yes.
I feel, has become so much more important than, especially kind of tying back in the phones and the social media.
Very true.
People find it more important to post a picture doing whatever they're doing at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
than be at home sleeping, being happy and healthy. And now they're having all these internal and external issues,
Absolutely.
but don't really understand why,
Yeah.
when the answer has been in front of them the whole time.
Dalton, you made a very, very good point, and I want to add something here, if I may.
Absolutely.
That something is happening during that time, and that's the danger point no one is talking about. Our kids today, somehow 1 and 2 a.m. has become a magical number that they decided to go to bed at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a nurse, and I have done good amount of my life. I have done a night shift.
Mhm.
And especially as a baby nurse, when you come out in and here in Dallas Fort Worth area, I mean, like majority of my nursing I've done is an ICU
Mhm.
background, and it's kind of typical that as a new nurse, as a baby nurse, you come that you just do not go in the day shift. So
Mhm.
you first start with night shifts, and
Absolutely.
then like work your way in, and eventually you get to that day shift. So it's like a privilege,
Mhm.
but all this, like emergent positions, whether it be a police, our PD department, or medical doctors, nurses, respiratory, um, like urgent services,
Mhm.
anything that you say, our system recognize. There is a reason we call those shift a graveyard shift. You know, um, big and it's not even just verbalizing, it's bad for us.
Mhm.
They're even compensating us. If I were to make $1, if I were to work in a day shift, and you decide, you know what, Manjeet, you do day because it's more money, I am going to do night shift. The system, the government, they understand that you're risking your life. So instead of me paying $1, they will pay you $1.50.
Mhm.
Why? Because you have consciously made the decision that you are putting your life just by staying awake. And imagine what our kids are doing, or not even just our kids. I should stop saying kids, because it's majority of us, may it be a kids or adult,
Mhm.
at our home in our bed, we are doing a night shift without being paid extra.
Mhm.
We're supposed to be, so like, it's a common sense. Why are those people get so much more money? Because we are risking life. It's a life and death. That's what our kids are doing. Now, what I wanted to share about the two things that's happening during that time: the deepest sleep, the beautiful sleep that you can have, is between 9 and 3. Like, that's the sweet number. If you can have that good deep sleep during that hour, it's amazing. What happens after that, 2, 3, 4 a.m., the nature outside is turning. Our melatonin is going down. Our cortisol level, our stress hormone that is
Mhm.
responsible for us to wake us up, is rising. Why? Because the sun outside is getting ready to rise up. It's the time for sunrise. And we as human, we are connected. So imagine what's happening. Our kids today, what they are doing is, when it is time for us to wake up, these kids, and majority of us adults as well, we are going to sleep absolutely against nature. We can do it 1 day, 2 day, 1 year, 2 year, but the day is going to come that we are going to pay back with compound interest, either from our life, from our one of the disease processes, with our joy, with our happiness, with our marriage, with so many things. It's just not like a physical thing. There are so many things. Nature has its own course. One way, shape, form, or the other, we will have to pay. It's like a loan. Like, a bank does not care, whether you have a capacity to return it or not. They will do whatever needs necessary, because they have entrusted you with that money. So that's how powerful it is. So thank you for letting me add that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any insight that you have is not only beneficial to me but everyone listening. Um, Now, one of the things that we like the most, just because of the connection and the way that it can resonate, is people's stories and people's
Yes.
experiences. So, what are some of the direct growths and successes that you personally have found after you implemented the five undeniable laws of holistic health and wellness? And kind of the same thing, do you know any of your friends or families kind of wins or successes that they've had by truly starting to implement this process?
Yes. No. Definitely. Um, one thing that you will notice in my book, I do not put any references simply because this is my personal testimony. You
Absolutely.
know, so what I say is everything that I'm saying, challenge me. Don't take it at the face value. If I'm saying drinking water is good, you come back and say that no, Manjeet, I don't believe you. Do your own research and see what you're going to find. So this is the whole reason you would not find any literature, any science backing. All I'm saying is this is my life moment,
Hmm.
and I can testify to um, what how I have lived this life after employing all those five laws into my life is definitely I can see a day and night difference. You know, I'm much calm, much relaxed. My focus is so much better, and there's just no word to it. That I can put, but I have given the copies of my book. I shared. I do speak.
Hmm.
In fact, here in Crowley next Friday, I'll be speaking on a very same message, and that's something I put a disclaimer that if water has worked for me, I want to challenge. I want you to challenge me with everything that I'm saying.
Absolutely.
You know, um, it's just so beautiful when my story becomes your story. When you start living this, you will feel that your focus is improving, your relationship is getting better with yourself, with your work, with your wife, with your parents, and so forth and so on. You will be able to testify. Answer to your question with the other side of the question that you asked is the testimonials from my friends and family. It's amazing. So far in my journey, not a single person that I have came and they have told me that, Manjeet, one law out of five that you speak upon that I disagree with. I'm yet to find that one person.
Hmm.
So far the book is doing good, and I mean, like, I really cannot even believe how can someone be able to say if I'm just trying them to connect with nature. But that would be a very interesting talk, and I
Hmm.
will make sure when that time happens, I'll give you a call and let you know.
Absolutely. And I saw in your book, um, on the back of it actually, and I would like to kind of dive into something a little bit different. Can you tell me about Healthcare Heroes PLLC, your founding of that? What exactly is that? What do you do with that?
Yes, it's pretty much the educational workshop.
Hmm.
Through I've created a digital course.
Okay.
Audio book is there, so I've kind of eliminated every excuse that there can be. I don't like reading. Okay, how about listening to a book? There is Audible. So that's one thing. I just do not want to listen to the book and don't want to listen just read. I want videos. Okay, there are videos also. Tell me more. So I've kind of eliminated all that, so came into a digital course, things like that.
Okay.
And the whole idea is my job, my goal is to get you aware of, if you have decided to go that route, live life with sleep deprivation. My goal is to at least show you the picture, what your future looks like. If I
Absolutely.
can connect with the little kids and the teenagers, somewhere between age of 15 to 20 or 25, that young people who thinks they know it all,
Hmm.
and you and I knows nothing. So if I can reach somehow to that population as well, because it's very different. That I really want the parents who are listening
Of course.
through that podcast and through the video, that they do not have to do the work. I have already done the work. All they have to do is somehow get hold of the material and present, and just do not let them see it by themselves. Do it as a family.
Absolutely.
Because if it is important for your kids who is 20 or 21-year young, so it is for you. Like, doesn't matter if you as a parents, you are 30s, 40s, or 50s. So this information is as valuable as is it for 18-year-old all the way to 80 or 90-year-old, or as long as we take our final breath on this planet, this book is going to be applicable.
The laws of physics never change no matter how old you are.
Absolutely.
Now, where can people access the book? Where can they get a physical copy? Where can they see the videos? Where can they see the audiobook?
So the book is going to be on the Audible,
Mm-hmm.
the audiobook, and Amazon. We are going to be selling it also
Okay.
also on the Amazon. But healthcareheroes.global, there's going to be a link
Okay.
if you want just like a package. So it's going to be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for the convenience, what I'm trying to do is put everything together with one login. You should be able to get an access to a digital course,
Mm-hmm.
digital book, Audible. So the audiobook is going to be there, and except the physical book. The physical book is not going to be in the digital part,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And one of the blessings is now we do not have to wait. The world has changed that far. If you want that information, just a click of a button, and you have the material right now. And it's just such a quick read that if you're a avid reader, it's a quick 30 minutes read,
Yeah.
or less. So that's what it is. So definitely, I am on a mission to uh, enlighten just the very little what I'm trying to do, but I truly believe it has worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
And being a human, I'm trusting other human beings that what has helped for me will help my other fellow brothers and sisters.
Absolutely. Now, at the end of each one of our episodes, I like to ask our guests the same thing. Speaking to the general public, if there was one thing, one message that you could give them to address their mental health, improve their mental health, whatever it is, what would your message to the world be?
I would definitely say connect with nature. Nature has healing. We are the society that that we are trained, if you will, that if I have a headache, I will be told to go get Tylenol or Advil.
Mm-hmm.
We are trained that way. My goal is to train people before you go for the medicine, go get a drink of water. You know, majority of thing can be solved by keeping body hydrated. Turning back to nature is going to be so valuable today. If you're listening to me, and 50 years later you come back to this video,
Mm-hmm.
it is still going to be as relevant, if not more. So this is a timeless thing that I have put together. I can never dare to call that I'm the first person on this planet Earth who is telling people to go to sleep on time. You know, in fact, the very founding member of United States, Mr. Benjamin Franklin, he said that early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So I do not claim to be a noble person to be introducing any of this. It was before me. All the laws were before me, and all this law will be way after you and I are gone from this planet Earth. So I just encourage people to stay connected, close with nature, and you will reap an unbelievable. So one thing definitely I advise as I speak is if you're taking a medication, and if you are going through a medical treatment, if you ever listen to someone speaker like me who is talking about the natural and the holistic health, do not underestimate the value of your clinicians if you're working with a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Continue with that treatment. And if you are ever decide to make a change that you are going to stop taking the medication, and this is I'm telling you as me as a nurse, it is extremely important for your prescribing doctor to know that you have decided to not take that medication.
Absolutely.
Anything that you do that can impact your health, and especially if you're already in contact with your doctor, make sure you discuss that with your doctor before you take any life-changing decisions
Of course.
in your life. So
Absolutely.
that is something I want to highlight to the listeners, that importance of your doctors comes way higher than any general or the holistic advice that you take from anyone else. So keep that in mind always.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Just make sure you talk to your doctor before you go for any life-changing changes in your life.
Thank you guys for joining us. You matter. You are not alone. Thank you all. The links for all of Manjeet's books, audiobooks, and everything will be underneath the video. If you have any questions, concerns, reach out to us at any time. If you are in immediate danger, don't hesitate to dial 911, dial the 988 number if anything's going on. And again, if you need anything, reach out to us. Thank you all. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.